Here we go. So first off, Alamut. We're going to be basing this on a couple things. One, how easy is it to defend this base and hold it? Two, aesthetic quality. Three, functionality. You know, does it have everything you need to run the base? And just general quality, as far as like how good does it look? Like what is it? How is it positioned strategically? So all those things are going to be looked at. So Alamut is quite dated, but it's also very defensible, and I think it does look cool. Of course, we're rating current Alamut, not any reworks or new updates that are not released. So, with that being said, I'm gonna put Alamut in B tier. Might be low A, high B. It's definitely large. It has a ton of area to explore. It's very defensible. It's a little dated. Actually, I might put it at the bottom of A. I'm gonna put it bottom of A. I think after you guys see the rework, it's definitely S, but right now it's A. Yeah, you know, we might move it, but Antioch, 20 concurrence. Now we're at 25. Nice. If you guys go on Twitch too, we increase the concurrence. I count Twitch and YouTube. Antioch. This is a newer base, higher quality. It is pretty small, and it doesn't have a giant throne room. I know that's a complaint, but it is very creative and cool and like nice looking. I think Antioch, defensibleness, it's got a lot of gates, so it's not that defensible, but I give it a solid B tier. I think B. I think C is too low. And I kind of feel similarly about Ascalon, although I don't like Ascalon quite as much. The graveyard's very cool, but they kind of just both feel very similar in that way. But I think some reworks and some improvements could really move these up into A if they were improved. It's just kind of basic. I mean, it could be high C, low B. I guess we'll do C. C tier. It is kind of hard to defend because it's in the middle of the Levant. Gosh, you guys are spamming. You hate Ascalon. I don't think it's that bad. Really don't. Let's go Bagdad. Now, this is also known as Lagdad. Lagdad. Where do we rate Lagdad? Obviously, it's very laggy, but it's very pretty. It's huge. If it didn't lag, it'd be great. And for that reason, I'm gonna put Bagdad just below Alamut in A tier. Without the lag, we'd be talking an S tier base. But I would say mid-low A tier, just because it is very laggy. The mosque and just the city design itself is very beautiful, but you can't put it in S with the lag. That's for sure. Let's do Cairo next. Cairo is very aged. It's very fun to siege. I remember having a lot of fun having sieges in Cairo with its little side doors. But because of its age, it has to go in C tier. Maybe just slightly above Ascalon because it has a few more features, but it isn't quite as good. I I mean, isn't quite as good as far as updates. It could be renovated and probably put into B or A if it just had a touch-up. And for that reason, we're going C tier. Now here's a controversial one, which is Constantinople. Constantinople is super small, and it's been complained about for years as being too small. When I originally built it, it was sort of regarded as, you know, good looking, but I wanted to make it bigger, and it just, Roblox capacity couldn't handle the detail at the time. It was so laggy. It's just functionally, it's more of like a prop than a base. So even though I really like the plaza, it is going to go in D tier because of its functionality. Although I don't hate it nearly as much as everybody else does. If it was my base, I'd probably be disappointed in the size. And for that reason, I am going to put it in D tier. But it really isn't that bad. And I think it's not the worst base you could have. And it's, you know, aesthetically, I think it's quite pleasing. It has its unique style. C tier, no, not quite. I don't think you can give it C tier. If we had an F tier, it definitely would not be an F tier. But next we have Damascus. Damascus is massive. It was built a long time ago, but it's even massive. For now, it's giant. Not quite as big as Acre or Jerusalem, but it's very big. It looks a little dated. It's a little dated, but for parkouring, Damascus is one of the funnest parkour maps. It was designed that way. You can climb the towers. It's really fun to siege with its giant gate. It's like a massive gate. I could see this being top. It does feel like a step up from Antioch, and for that reason, I think I would have to put it in A. It's like top B, low A. It's a little dated. I think with like new props and stuff, it'll look really nice. Really nice. Yeah, I think it deserves an A tier for sure. Jaffa. So this is the new Jaffa, even though we have the old Jaffa image. I really like the new Jaffa. Of the new bases, I think it's probably the best. The coastline is very beautiful. The way the keep's positioned, awesome. It's a great size. And I do just like the design of it. I do like the giant outdoor area. Ali Pars did a really good job with this Jaffa. Just looks really nice. It's a fun matchmaking map as well. I'm gonna have to put it in A tier. I think low A tier, just for the keep and everything. It'd be either high A, low B. I mean low A, high B. I think high B for now, because I do think it lacks a little bit of that detail inside areas like the keep. People are saying the round table. Yeah, I do think it's better than the old Jaffa, honestly. But B tier makes sense. Next we have Jerusalem. Okay, so Jerusalem's one. It's one of the more recent ones I built. I built it like 3 years ago. And Jerusalem is an awesome map, especially with the changes we've made. I don't know if it's S tier. It'd be like very high A, low S. For me, it's so it's got a great market. It's got great religious buildings. It's got a cool military area. And then with the changes we've made, I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier. I do think that the lag and the size, I could see people having a problem with. But as far as just like functionality and like all the changes we made, I'm really happy with it. So aesthetically, I'm rating it a little higher. But we do need to work on the performance because it's a little bit too laggy right now. And I can see that being a huge issue. By the way, we're at 27 concurrents. 3 more concurrents and we will be doing 3 giveaways, guys. We are at 2 giveaways. Next we have Karak, which has a special place in my heart, even though it is a very mid base. The underground that was built is cool, but it's kind of not built to the specific specifications I want, and it's just a plain looking castle. However, I think it's very fun to raid, and I think it serves a good function. It's gonna have to go middle of C tier. It's not great. It, as far as like visually impressive, it's one of the most just plain looking castles. Which brings us to our next one, which is Crack the Chevalier. And I'm actually going to, I'm tempted, like I could make an argument for S, and I could also make an argument for B. For S, I love the historical accuracy of the castle. It's one of the more historically accurate castles that I've made. But it's a little small. I really like Crack. I think has a great visuals. I'm gonna put it in A. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in A. I'll put it in low A. I mean, I really like it, but I can see why. Oh, that's good. Next, we're gonna go Malbork. Now, Malbork has a really pretty looking keep, and the Teutonics really like it. But for me, it's a low C tier. It's just too small, and it's dated. I think it needs an improvement. Like a rework would really help. But Malbork is just going to be bottom of C tier for me. It's not quite D, but it's just tiny, and I don't feel like an adventure or something like that. Maybe I'm going too aesthetic here. It is pretty defensible. It is pretty defensible, but we'll go up a little bit. I'll put it in front of Ascalon for its defensiveness, but it's very small. The Teutonics deserve better. Next, Masyaf S tier. This is not even discussion. Masyaf is the definition of an S tier base. Its size is perfect, defensible with its tunnels and gates. It's also extremely well built as far as like how intricate it is on the inside. There's a lot of places to explore. It's super super usable. It's like the oldest base. It just ages like fine wine. Masyaf is really great, and also people have to fight uphill, which can be tough visually, even though there's not a strict advantage fighting uphill versus downhill. I think just having to look up constantly can be tough, and like going up those streets and having people jump down on you. We used to have the parachutes, which people would come down and jump down on, and they would hidden blade you, and those were always really awesome. Just great. So Masyaf S tier for sure. And you could even, like, if there was a double S, it would be in double S. This is cream of the crop. And it doesn't really lag, so it really just, as far as aesthetic, defensiveness, everything, perfect. Lavender just subscribed. Thank you, Lavender, for subscribing. We have reached 33 concurrents. We are going to have 3 giveaways. If we get 7 more people, we will be increasing the giveaways. Now we're at 33 concurrents. Remember, guys, if you go to Twitch, the concurrents will count. So if you double stream it, it's good. I could talk about Masyaf all day. It's an amazing base. It really is. Just, I love it. Obviously heavily inspired from the Assassin's Creed games, but it has its own unique tastes, and even with the new props, I feel like it's going to look even better. Okay, next we have Misina, which used to be the social hub. Misina's a great base. I don't know how it's been working as a base, but I remember it just being very fun as a social hub. I think it's got a great outside area. Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it's tempting to put it in S, but I don't know if it is. Sophia YF just subscribed. Thank you. I think it has to be an A. I'd even put it, yeah, maybe a look between Alamut and Baghdad. I think it's a great base. Adamo just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. Now we're at 10 on Twitch, so we have 39 combined. We just need one more concurrent, and we will be doing 4 giveaways. Next, we have Montreal, which is the one I've most recently built with the help of Roblox and a little bit of help from Omar, although it was mostly Roblox. I love this base. We've experimented with some new textures, but it just has such a unique look. I think defensible. I've never seen a raid there, but we made it to be very defensible. I'm gonna have to put it in the, and it's also strategically placed. Like the Templars will never lose Montreal if they're semi-competent. I'm gonna put it in low S. Honestly, I really like Montreal. Visually, it's great. It's not quite as good as Masyaf visually. People are saying it's not defensible. Oh, the defense gets crushed by the ladders. That's right. I still think, thank you Desired Fops for the sub. I just love it, and it's in a desert, but it does look great. I just really love Montreal. And it's just like fun to explore, and I just could see myself loving patrolling there and hanging out there. So yeah. So this is actually Old Jerusalem, Mosul. It used to be Jerusalem, and now it's Mosul. This is a great base, and actually, as far as activity time, we spent a lot of time there, and I think this is a very underrated and underappreciated base. Mosul is awesome as far as its size. It's great for parkour. Yeah, honestly, S is a great, like, and it doesn't lag. Yeah, I think S is actually appropriate. Maybe high A, low S. It does feel a little bit better than New Jerusalem because it doesn't lag. It just comes together really well. Yeah, I think Mosul S tier. Yeah, I think that's fair. Next, Nicosia. Nicosia is a great base. Nicosia is a great base. It's got the tiers. It's got all the different, you know, all the different leveling with the awesome temple. Yeah, it definitely feels at least an A. It's at least an A. The question is it above or below Alamut to me? I think just above Alamut would be good. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. I think that's appropriate. Yeah. Next we have Palermo, which is one of the newest, it might be the newest base. Besides maybe Ascalon. Palermo, I've not spent a lot of time there. I've looked around in studio a lot when I was reviewing it. I really like the look of this. If you've been to Palermo in real life, it has a really awesome feel. You know, it's a good size. I feel like B is too low, but I also feel like it's distinctively, like, I feel like it's better than Damascus. A lot of people are saying B. I guess B. Like high B. It's hard for me to put it below Damascus, but I guess. I guess that makes sense. There's too many A's. Yeah, maybe. Next we have Palmyra post-rework. So post-rework, Palmyra looks a lot better. It's got the tunnel system. It's got its own houses now. It's still very small. So I wouldn't put it as bad as Constantinople. But as far as size goes, like, it's a good side base, but it sucks that it's a capital because it's just too small. And I think for that reason, like, is D tier too low? I think, like, maybe just below Ascalon or above it. You think it's B? People complain about this base so much. Yeah, I think it has to be a C. Honestly, I wouldn't even put it above Malbork. Now, it just got more to do. Next, we have Sion post-recolor. Sion just doesn't fit aesthetically into Lionhearts, but it does a little more now. It's got some cool stuff, but I still... It's not, like, it's better than a D if it's in a fantasy game, but it's a D to me because it's really just kind of plain. And I mean, yeah, it's not plain, but it's plain is the wrong word. It's out of place. It doesn't fit, and I don't know. I do think that it's a D tier. Next we have Syracuse. Syracuse, I really like Syracuse. It is critically small. Aesthetically, it's like a 10 out of 10. The size is really nice. I mean, the aesthetic is really nice, but it's very small. I think high B tier is appropriate. It's actually, like, if not for the size, it'd be way better. I can't put it in D tier. It's way too nice looking. I think it's a nice, chill place to hang out. Yeah, I would say B tier. Maybe lower than Palermo, but B tier for sure. Yeah. Next we have Thessaloniki. Now this is actually, like, people love Thessaloniki. The question is, where does it go? It doesn't actually have that many houses, but it's huge. Oh, we are missing Acre. You're right. We'll do Acre last. S tier for Thessaloniki is, like, too much, I think. I think it's, like, definitely below Misina and Baghdad. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna put it high. I'm gonna put it at the top of B tier. I just don't think it's that good. And honestly, upon reflecting, I think Crack should be moved down as well. I think that's more appropriate. Yeah. Good job, guys, though, remembering. I was thinking I forgot a base, and I just couldn't figure out which one. Okay, last we have Acre. Acre. Acre is gorgeous. Its size is beautiful. It is laggy. It has the 4 different fortresses, which is just incredible. Having those 4 different fortresses is awesome. Acre S tier. Your PC just sucked. Actually, I do kind of concur. I think Acre could actually be made just below Masyaf. I think Acre is definitely S tier. Acre is gorgeous. Zach and I built it. The citadels, from the churches to the buildings. Acre's definitely S tier. And it's a step up from Jerusalem, and it's not quite as laggy. That's right. If the rework drops, we might be moving Alamut. So from the bottom to the top, or top to bottom. What's up, guys? Welcome. We are still chilling at 36 concurrents. We got up to 40. We would have a 4th giveaway. So, number 1 of bases in Lionhearts, Masyaf. Masyaf is 1. It's a beautiful, iconic base. I don't think it can be topped. Number 2, Acre. Its grandiosity, it's just so amazing. The French conquered the world from Acre. They did a great job using it as their base of operations. It literally could fit hundreds of players. It's so in-depth and cool. It's got an awesome area around it. Montreal coming up next, one of the newer bases, followed by Mosul in rounding out S tier. Now in A tier, we have Jerusalem, followed by Nicosia, Alamut, Misina, Baghdad, and Damascus at the bottom of A tier. Top of B tier, Thessaloniki, which could honestly be low A, but I just feel better with it being in B. I just think it's a little bit empty in the keeps and stuff. Crac des Chevaliers at B tier. Next, Palermo, Syracuse in B tier, followed by New Jaffa, Ascalon, or Antioch rather, Cairo, Kerak in C tier, Palermo, or Palmyra Oasis rather, Malbork, Ascalon at the bottom of C tier, and at the top of D tier we have Sayun, and last and least, Constantinople. As unfortunate as that is for me, I went to Rome when I was in high school. I've been to Rome a few times, spent a lot of time in Italy. For my high school senior trip, my dad took me to Rome, and I went to the Piazza del Popolo in Rome. Piazza del Popolo means the Plaza of the People. And in the Plaza of the People, I saw a giant obelisk with that Caesar had taken from Egypt, and that's what I based the Constantinople Plaza off. So I do take it a little to heart. I do love Constantinople, but it's not quite what it needs to be. It worked better in the old days, and it just aged poorly. Let's be honest. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe below. If not, leave a dislike and tell us why this content could be improved in the comments below. We'll see you guys in the next one.